and grab a chair. Learn the facts. Turn it up. This SSCC Deep Dive Podcast with Frank and Wendy.
Hi friends, welcome to the May 2026 Shepard-Smith Compliance Consulting Deep Dive Podcast.
We are your hosts, Wendy and Frank, and man, oh man, do we have an important topic for you this month. This month's newsletter is based on a question from one of our clients.
That's so awesome, really.
Yep. Our topic this month is how to find grants. And it's really profound and timely. I mean, with the decrease in grants coming out online.
Yep, that's true. Grants.gov has been dismal lately.
Plus, and the unbelievable competition for funding that's out there, finding a good grant opportunity is not only critical for an institution, but, I mean, jobs are on the line, you know?
I'm with you on that. You know, with NSF funding rates at, 7 to 10%, I'd rather apply for something with odds that are, better than getting struck by lightning on the same day I get bit by a shark.
Yeah, those are some rough odds. It really does feel like a total gamble sometimes if you don't know exactly where to look.
It really does. But before we get into the heavy stuff, we got to go over our calendar of super awesome events for this month.
Oh, absolutely. May is packed.
It is. So first off, May is Celiac Disease Awareness Month. And this is a big one for us because one of our managing partners is celiac, so we always want to bring some awareness to that.
Definitely. It's also National Barbecue Month.
Which I'm very excited about.
And National Salsa Month. But hold the cilantro for those with the cilantro soap gene receptors.
Oh my gosh, yes. Does cilantro taste like soap to you?
It actually kind of does, yeah. It's the worst.
See, I love it. I could eat it by the handful, but I know it's a genetic thing. Anyway, May is also National Blood Pressure Month, so, take care of yourself.
And we have some specific days we hope you enjoy recognizing or celebrating. May 4th is Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you.
Classic. Then right after that, May 5th is Cinco de Mayo.
And also May 5th and 6th, you've got the Eta Aquarids meteor shower. You want to look in the pre-dawn hours during the peak. And this is actually the debris from Halley's Comet, right?
I did not know that. That is super cool. May 6th is National Nurses Day. And we have to give a huge shout out to Vanessa, our managing partner. We see you and we appreciate all that you do.
Absolutely. Vanessa is the best. Moving on, May 10th is Mother's Day. Don't forget to call your moms.
Very important. May 11th is Eat What You Want Day. And honestly, I'm eating barbecue. I don't know about you.
I will probably join you on that. Now, just a quick administrative note. May 22nd, SSCC will be out of office.
And we're also out of the office on May 25th for Memorial Day.
Right. And rounding out the month, May 28th, is National Hamburger Day. We recommend trying it on a lettuce wrap to recognize those with celiac disease. Plus, the calories you save can be used to eat more of those awesome Five Guys French fries.
Oh, man, they are the best for sure. The Cajun ones especially.
Totally. Okay, so let's pivot and unpack this whole grant situation. Because like we were just saying, it is a maze out there right now.
It really is. You sit down at your computer, you know your organization needs this money to survive, but the landscape is just totally overwhelming. We are talking about a $1.9 trillion ecosystem, but finding the actual dollars that fit your mission is incredibly frustrating.
It requires a level of stamina that can easily lead to burnout. And that's why we're doing this deep dive today. We are going to map out the ultimate treasure hunt.
Right, because we're looking at a bunch of different sources today. We've got the public government portals, we've got the premium pay databases like Candid and GrantStation, and then we're going to talk about using AI, which is absolutely changing the game.
The AI piece is huge.
It really is. But let's start with the basics, the public portals. When people hear the word grants, their minds immediately go to Washington, D.C. They think of grants.gov. But grants.gov is used for federal grants only, right?
Exactly. It's strictly for organizations supporting government-funded programs. And this is a really vital distinction because a lot of people go there looking for personal financial help.
Like trying to get a grant to start a small business or pay off debt.
Right. And grants.gov explicitly states that they do not publish personal financial assistance opportunities. If you need that, you actually have to go to usa.gov. Grants.gov is for institutional funding.
Okay, so if I run a nonprofit, I'm in the right place. But man, the mechanics of applying on grants.gov is like alphabet soup. You've got these SF 424 forms, workspace environments, UEI numbers. Can you break down what all this means for someone who hasn't done this before?
Yeah, the bureaucracy is intense. The funding pools are massive, so the compliance is incredibly strict. Let's take the UEI, for example.
That's the unique entity identifier, right?
Yes. The government transitioned away from the old DUNS number system to the UEI. You get it through sam.gov, the System for Award Management, and you have to have your UEI sorted out and act long before you even try to log into grants.gov.
And what happens if you don't?
You literally can't apply. The system won't let you. And then you have the workspace, which is their specific digital application environment. You can't just email a beautifully formatted PDF. You have to build the application piece by piece inside their system.
I read something in the sources about UTF-8 special characters causing massive problems. What is that about?
Oh, that is a nightmare scenario. It basically means if you draft your narrative in Microsoft Word and you use a fancy M- or smart quotes, the grants.gov mainframe might not recognize it. It's looking for standard plain text.
So it throws an error.
Exactly. You hit submit at 11:58 p.m. on the night it's due, and the system rejects it because of a bullet point format.
That is terrifying.
It is. And they have scheduled maintenance dates, too. If the deadline is Monday and the site is down for maintenance all weekend, you can't get an extension. You just miss out.
Okay, so federal grants are a heavy lift. It sounds almost like a full-time job just to manage the portal.
Yeah.
But states post their grant opportunities online also, right? Like Illinois, Missouri, Tennessee, California, Colorado.
Yes. And state-level portals are arguably the hidden gems of the grant world.
Why is that? Are they just easier to use?
Well, the fundamental difference is the competitive landscape. Federal grants are nationally competitive. State grants are naturally restricted to organizations operating within those borders. You're competing against your neighbors, not the entire country.
That makes a lot of sense. Looking at the California grants portal, the sheer volume of money is staggering. The data shows $15.7 billion in current available funding.
That's billion with a B.
Yeah, across over 150 opportunities. And they are so specific. Like, there are multiple grants for the Department of Forestry for CL Fire Forest Health. There's one from the State Library for the preservation and accessibility of California's LGBTQ+ history.
And the strategic lesson there is all about legislative alignment. Those grants exist because the governor and the state legislature designated funds in the budget for those exact priorities.
So you're basically solving the state's problem for them.
Exactly. You align your local program to match the state mandate.
I noticed Tennessee's portal, tn.gov, has a huge variety too. They have massive programs like Grow Your Own, which combats teacher shortages. But then they have these tiny micro-initiatives like Project Milkweed.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, giving free milkweed seeds to residents to rebuild pollinator habitats.
Wow.
Or litter grants for local cleanups.
State governments realize that not every problem needs a massive federal intervention. Sometimes a few $1,000s at the local level can mobilize a community incredibly effectively. It decentralizes the funding pressure.
That's a great way to look at it. So don't just stare at Washington, D.C. Look in your own backyard.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's the government side. But sites like Candid, GrantStation, and others should be used to search for private funding. Let's talk about the mega databases, starting with Candid.
Candid is a powerhouse.
It really is. The data says they have 1.9 million organization profiles, tracking 3 million annual grant transactions, totaling $180 billion. But it's not just a search engine, is it?
No, it operates more like a two-way mirror for the philanthropic sector. It's a mutual vetting ground.
What do you mean by mutual vetting?
Well, foundations use it to research you just as much as you use it to research them. This is where the seal of transparency comes in. Nonprofits have to claim their profile on Candid and manually upload their program data, their leadership demographics, and their financials.
And that gets them a bronze, silver, gold, or platinum seal.
Yeah.
Is that really that important? It sounds a bit like getting a verified check mark on social media.
It is so much more than a vanity metric. Think about a major family foundation. They don't have the staff to deeply investigate every single nonprofit that asks for money. They go to Candid.
Ah, I see.
If they search for you and find an empty profile with no seal, it signals a lack of capacity. But a platinum seal tells them you are accountable and ready for institutional investment.
So you're marketing your competence directly to the funders.
Precisely. And Candid in particular allows you to look at IRS tax forms to inform your decisions, which is a massive strategic advantage.
Yes, the 990 hack. This came up across a lot of our sources today, including GrantStation and GrantWatch. For someone who isn't an accountant, what exactly is an IRS Form 990?
An IRS Form 990 is the annual tax document that federally tax-exempt organizations have to file. That includes private foundations. And because they are tax exempt, those financial records must be available to the public.
Okay, but why does a grant seeker care about a foundation's tax return?
Because past giving is the absolute best predictor of future giving. I tell clients this all the time. A foundation's website is their PR department. It tells you what they want to fund in theory. Their 990 is their accounting department. It tells you exactly who they actually wrote checks to, how much those checks were for, and where those recipients are located.
Oh, wow. So it strips away the marketing speak.
Exactly. It shows you the receipts. You might find a foundation website that says they fund nationwide environmental conservation. But if you look at their 990, you might discover they only ever write checks to 3 specific land trusts in upstate New York.
And if you're in Colorado, you just saved yourself 40 hours of writing a proposal they were never going to fund.
Exactly. It also tells you their average check size. If their 990 shows they usually give $5,000 and you ask for $50,000, your proposal goes straight in the trash. It allows you to tailor your ask perfectly.
That is such a crucial strategy. And speaking of databases that help you find these specific grants, let's talk about GrantWatch. They are the volume leader, right?
Yes, GrantWatch is highly tactical. They have over 11,000 currently active grants listed, and they cater to a very wide audience, including small businesses.
What I noticed was how granular their categories are. You can filter by BIPOC, pets and animal wildlife, space, and incredibly specific research grants.
Right, like the one for cutaneous sarcoidosis evaluating MTR inhibitors.
Exactly. If you are a medical researcher studying that one specific rare disease, you don't want to dig through thousands of general healthcare grants. You need the exact foundation looking to fund your exact niche.
And that efficiency is what you're paying for. GrantWatch does have a paywall. It's $199 for a premium membership.
Which can be tough for a scrappy nonprofit.
Right.
But the testimonials in our sources are pretty compelling. The Wade Center won a $10,000 grant for operating expenses using it.
And operating expenses are notoriously the hardest things to get funded. Paying the light bill isn't glamorous to a funder, so finding that specific grant is a huge win.
And Literacy United, an all-volunteer organization, used it to score a $400,000 grant. So the ROI is definitely there if you have the capacity to actually write the proposal.
That's the key. The database points you to the door, but you still have to walk through it.
Which brings us to GrantStation. They focus heavily on teaching you how to walk through that door, don't they?
They do. GrantStation is the educator of the group. They offer a massive library of grants, but their real value proposition is their training. It costs about 41 cents a day, and they offer these intense webinars.
Yeah, I saw titles like Budgeting to Fully Fund Your Overhead and Ripple Mapping.
Ripple mapping is fascinating. It's a visual storytelling method to document the indirect impacts of your program. If you can include that in a proposal, you stand out instantly against someone who just submitted plain text. They are teaching high-level development strategy.
Okay, so we've got the public portals and we've got these incredible databases, but focus most on using a tailored prompt in AI to find the best opportunities. This is the part of the deep dive I have been waiting for.
It is the biggest disruption in the sector right now.
Seriously. We are moving from manual keyword searching to predictive AI matching, which is the best site to use. We like Gemini, but we've experienced that other sites basically generate the same results, so it probably doesn't matter if you use Copilot, Gemini, ChatGPT, Claude, or others.
They all utilize similar large language models, so the platform itself is less important than how you communicate with it.
Right, and something we have to make abundantly clear right now before we even talk about the prompt. We never use AI to copy and paste into our grant narrative, but using it as a tool to help scour the web to find funding agencies is a very appropriate use and could be the difference in finding a good grant opportunity and missing out on an award that could truly help the institution.
That distinction is critical. You use the AI as an incredibly fast research assistant, not as your grant writer.
Exactly. So let's talk about how to actually talk to this research assistant. The secret is all in the prompt. If you just go to ChatGPT and type "Find me grants for veterans," you're going to get garbage back. You'll get links to grants.gov that are closed or massive national foundations that don't fund your state.
It will be too broad to be actionable.
Right. So we use a highly tailored prompt. I'm going to read the exact prompt from our notes, and then let's break down why it works so well.
Let's do it.
Okay, here's the prompt. Find me 15 funding opportunities that would support veteran mental health in my state, Colorado, that are more than $25,000. Organize them by deadline. The first deadline must be at least June 1. Provide the name of the agency, a link to the grant solicitation, the funding range, and a one-sentence synopsis of each opportunity.
That is a masterclass in prompt engineering.
Let's dissect it. First, I love that it starts with a specific number. Find me 15 funding opportunities. Why is that better than just saying, find me funding opportunities?
Because large language models are inherently lazy. If you don't give them a parameter, they will give you 3 to 5 results and stop generating. By explicitly demanding 15, you force the AI to dig deeper into its training data and scrape more obscure foundation websites that it might have otherwise ignored.
Yeah, it makes total sense. Then the prompt gets to the core, mission, and location that would support veteran mental health in my state, Colorado.
Location is usually the #1 disqualifier in grant seeking. A foundation might love veteran mental health, but if their charter says they only fund in Texas, your Colorado nonprofit is out of luck. By locking the geographic parameter in the prompt, you filter out thousands of irrelevant hits instantly.
Next part, that are more than $25,000. This is a big one.
It is. It establishes your floor. Writing a grant takes a significant amount of administrative time. If it takes your team 20 hours to write a proposal, applying for a $500 community grant might actually cost you money in payroll. Setting a financial floor ensures the AI only returns opportunities that offer a viable return on your time investment.
Right. You don't want to waste time on a tiny grant when you need major institutional support.
Yeah.
Then the prompt says, organize them by deadline. The first deadline must be at least June 1st. I think this is the smartest part of the whole thing.
It absolutely is, because an open grant opportunity is completely useless to you if the deadline is tomorrow. You need runway. You need time to convene your board, draft the narrative, gather your financial documents, and review the whole package. By telling the AI to ignore anything due before June 1st, you are building in your own required lead time.
And finally, the output formatting. Provide the name of the agency, a link to the grant solicitation, the funding range, and a one-sentence synopsis of each opportunity.
This saves you from having to read paragraphs of generated fluff. It forces the bot to act like an executive assistant, handing you a clean, structured briefing document. You get exactly what you need to click the link and verify the opportunity yourself.
Because you do have to verify it.
Always.
Which brings up the danger of AI. We saw this mentioned in the Grant Station webinars. They have a whole session on AI's hallucination problem.
Yes. Hallucination is the biggest risk when using these tools. Large language models are predictive text engines. They are designed to sound plausible, not to tell the objective truth.
So they just invent things.
They will confidently invent a foundation that doesn't exist, complete with a fake website link and a fake board of directors, just to satisfy your prompt.
That is wild.
That's why the AI is the starting line, not the finish line. You take that list of 15 opportunities, you click the links, you verify the deadlines on the actual foundation's website, and you look at their 990s.
And again, this is exactly why we never use AI to copy and paste into our grant narratives. If the AI hallucinates a statistic about veteran mental health in Colorado, and you paste that into your proposal, a program officer who actually knows the data will spot it instantly.
And your organization's credibility is instantly destroyed. You will likely be blacklisted. Trust is everything in philanthropy. Use the tech to do the heavy lifting of the search, but you have to be the one to tell the authentic human story.
There are also dedicated AI platforms popping up for this too, right? Like Grants. The data says they boast a 95% match success rate and save an average of 120 hours per grant.
Yes, platforms like Grants take that prompting process and automate it. Instead of typing out what you do, you just give them your website URL. The AI crawls your site, builds a semantic profile of your mission, and cross-references it against a global database of funders.
It shifts the whole paradigm from you manually searching for keywords to the AI predictively matching your mission with capital. Dr. Bev Browning, who wrote Grant Writing for Dummies, called it a fundamental shift this sector has needed for decades.
It's incredibly powerful. But again, it only finds the door. You still have to do the work.
Speaking of doing the work, let's say you use that awesome AI prompt. You found perhaps 5 great opportunities. They fit your mission perfectly, they fund in Colorado, the dollar amounts are right, but nothing with an immediate deadline is currently posted on their site.
The worst feeling.
It really is. You go to their page and it just says, currently not accepting unsolicited proposals. Check back in the spring.
Which means you now have to remember to check that specific page every single week so you don't miss the narrow window when they finally open it.
Exactly. But something that SSCC does, which we think may be unique, and we're answering your question, how do we find grant opportunities, is that we utilize visual ping.
Such a great tool.
It is a total game changer. It allows you to copy and paste a URL and have the site notify you when there are any changes on the funder's website.
It automates the vigilance?
Yes. If you are waiting for any changes on perhaps the Lilly Endowment website, Visual Ping will work in the background to monitor that page for changes and send you a notification when you should revisit the site.
You don't have to keep a folder of 50 bookmarks that you manually click through every Monday morning.
Right. It acts like a bot. It takes a digital snapshot of the page. And the second the Lilly Endowment deletes the words check back in the spring and adds an Apply Now button, Visual Ping detects that code change. It highlights the exact text that changed in red and sends you an email.
And it's smart enough not to alert you just because a banner image changed or they updated the copyright year at the bottom. It looks for substantive text changes.
It's not just for grants either. Law firms use it to track regulatory changes, SEO managers use it. People even use it to get an alert when a sold-out pair of sneakers is back in stock.
It's all about information asymmetry. Getting the information first is a massive competitive advantage. Foundations often cap their applications. They might say, we will accept the first 100 proposals, and then the portal closes.
Oh, wow. So it's literally a race.
It is. If Visual Ping alerts you 5 minutes after the portal opens, you have the maximum amount of time to submit, while everyone else is still waiting to manually check their bookmarks on Friday.
That time saved will definitely allow you to optimize your time and focus on other deadlines and tasks, like providing faculty training, which we know is what you probably do 50% of your day.
Exactly. You are outsourcing the repetitive digital busy work to a bot so you can preserve your human energy for the actual mission.
Visual Ping is one of those cheap subscriptions that pays for itself and is one of the few that we strongly recommend.
Definitely worth looking into.
Okay, we have covered an immense amount of ground today. Let's synthesize this so you can walk away with a clear battle plan.
Sounds good.
If you are hunting for funding, you start by understanding the landscape. You check grants.gov for the massive federal opportunities, but you make sure you have your UEI and your compliance in order first.
And don't forget the state portals.
Right, the state portals like California or Tennessee, where the funding is tailored to local priorities and the competition is just your neighbors. Then you leverage the premium databases. You use Candid to earn that seal of transparency so funders can vet you.
Because they're definitely looking you up.
They absolutely are. You use GrantWatch to sift through highly specific active grants using their granular filters. You utilize GrantStation to educate yourself on high-level strategy and budgeting.
And you deploy the 990 hack across all of them.
Yes, pulling those IRS tax forms to see exactly who they fund and for how much, cutting right through their PR language. Then you embrace the AI disruption. You use platforms like GrantX, or you use our tailored prompt in Gemini or ChatGPT to instantly cross-reference your mission against millions of grants, establishing your funding floor and your deadline runway.
Just remember to verify everything so you don't get caught by an AI hallucination.
Absolutely. Never copy and paste into the narrative. And finally, to stand guard on the websites of your dream funders, ensuring you get an alert the very second their grant window opens.
It's a comprehensive strategy that completely modernizes the treasure hunt.
It really is. But with all these portals, AI agents, and monitoring bots at our disposal, what does this actually mean for the future of the sector?
Well, I think we are rapidly approaching a horizon where the logistical barrier to finding grants is effectively zero. As AI perfectly matches your mission with available capital and bots automate the waiting game, the administrative hurdles are vanishing. But this raises an incredibly important question, and it's a provocative thought I want to leave you with today.
What's that?
In a near future where every single nonprofit, school, and small business has the exact same perfectly optimized AI-generated list of funding opportunities, how will your organization stand out? When the digital playing field is totally leveled by technology, the differentiator will no longer be how well you search databases or how many hours you spend on grants.gov.
That's a really good point.
The only thing left that will matter is the real-world difference you make and the uniquely authentic human way you tell that story. Technology can find the money, but only your genuine impact can win it.
What a powerful place to land.
Yeah.
The tools are finally here to handle the logistics so you can focus entirely on the heart of your mission. Thank you all so much for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you walk away feeling armed, inspired, and ready to tackle the grant landscape with a new level of strategic confidence. Keep exploring the data, use those tailored AI prompts, and most importantly, keep doing the great work you do in your communities. We'll see you next time.